Hey everyone, today we are packing my suitcases together. We're leaving for Greece tomorrow, which is very exciting, but I've left packing till the very last minute, so I need to get to it. And I'm hoping you guys will be my motivation. I'm also going to be sharing with you 3 tips that I use to pack in the most efficient way possible. I'm definitely not a minimal packer. I like to have options. I like to have different outfits throughout the trip. I feel like I've learned a good balance between packing too much and packing too little. We're gonna be there for an extended amount of time and we're gonna need a lot of different outfits. That being said, we always make sure that we have access to laundry at regular intervals throughout the trip. Either we'll find an Airbnb that has a washing machine included, or we'll find almost like a laundromat in the area, and that so we know we can wash our clothes, and that's huge in being able to pack less clothes. So my tip number 1 is deciding on how to pick what you're gonna wear on your trip. You wanna start off by seeing what the weather will be like during the period you're going to be there. You want to see if the daytime weather is going to be similar to the nighttime weather. So this is where layers will come in handy. So it might be really hot during the day, like for example in Greece right now it's 37 degrees Celsius plus, so and then in the evening it gets a little bit cooler, so sometimes there's a light breeze, and so this is where layers will come in handy. A little cardigan, a little jacket, and layers are amazing also when you can use them on the plane where it gets chilly, also on a ferry boat that can get chilly as well. And then the other thing to keep in mind is when you're picking your clothes is you want to make sure that the things you're packing kind of go with each other. So for example, if you have a beautiful top but you don't really have a bottom that's going to go with it for this particular trip, I would suggest maybe leaving that top behind. I used to be one of those packers that would have an item and be like, oh, I'll pack this just in case. And then I never end up wearing it because I didn't have a specific item to pair it with. It didn't go with really anything else that I had packed. So it was kind of a waste of space. And so I've learned to kind of look before I put everything in the suitcase and see, does this work with whatever else I have? My plan is to pack enough clothes for about a 7-day period. And then I know I'll have access to a washing machine, and then I'll wash those clothes again and be able to rewear them. This gives me variety for my, let's be real, I want to be taking nice pictures with not wearing the same outfit every time. I know it's very vain on me, but it is a vacation and I want to feel good. And then how I break down my outfits for Greece is I'll have my sundresses that I wear to the beach, because when we're going on vacation, mainly what we're doing is going to the beach every day. And so the majority of the day is spent on the beach. So I'll just need a bathing suit and then a sundress. And when I pack a sundress, the sundresses I pack, I make sure that they're appropriate to wear outside if we're gonna be going and grabbing a bite to eat at lunchtime or after the beach. If we're gonna be stopping somewhere and going, maybe picking up some groceries or something, then it's not just like a simple like sheer cover up that I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable walking in public with. And so my sundresses kind of have a dual purpose. They kind of work for the beach, and then I can wear them outside of the beach as well. And then I have my evening wear, like my fancier clothes. So I like to get dressed up. So what we do is like we'll be at the beach all day, go home, have a shower, get ready, and then go out for a nice dinner, usually by the water, and then enjoy a nice glass of wine. And so I like to get dressed up a little bit. So these clothes will be a little bit nicer. And then I have some in-between options for, let's say, travel days, like when we're driving to one destination to the other, or taking a ferry, or if we're going to be meeting family where I'm not looking to be super dressed up, and I'm not looking to wear something that I would necessarily wear on the beach. So an in-between option is really good to have too. So keeping that in mind, I'm packing 6 bathing suits with me. That might be a bit much. I usually pack 3 or 4 that I can rotate throughout the trip, but I have them, so I'm going to bring them, and I like variety. And I figured they're small enough. They pack tightly enough where I can get away with 6 bathing suits for a month. It's not too bad. I also have the 5 sundresses that I can wear to the beach, and then also for going out for lunch. I'm also bringing 5 dresses that I can wear in the evening when we're going out for dinner. I love my long dresses. I really feel comfortable in them, and I feel like they make me look elegant, and I think That's really important. I've packed sometimes clothes that I'm not necessarily the most comfortable in, and I'm always like tugging at them or pulling them, and I'm just not really comfortable, and it kind of takes away from the evening. So I make sure to be comfortable in all the clothes that I'm packing. And then I'm packing 4 bottoms, 2 skirts, and 2 shorts that I can mix and match with either some dressier tops or some casual tops. I have 3 dressy tops that I'm packing, and then I have 4 of the same tank tops that I have just in different colors that really kind of go with anything. It's a super basic, so I feel like it's something that's good to pack because I can mix and match and make different outfits out of it. And then I'm also bringing 1 workout outfit because my plan is to work out a few times during this trip. I'm hoping I'm gonna at least do some morning walks or a quick like 20-minute workout during the day. I'm also packing a pair of pajamas because then again I can wash after a few days, so that's, I don't need to bring more than 1. And then you have to think about footwear. So again, the same concept that applies to your clothes, I would apply it to your footwear. And so make sure that whatever you're bringing can be used in different scenarios. So I have 1 pair of sandals that I can wear to the beach and during the day. And then I have my shoes that I'm wearing on the plane. So my running shoes that are the chunkiest shoes. So again, I would recommend wearing your chunkier items, your heavier items on the plane, and that way they're not taking up weight in your luggage if you're checking in, or space if you're just trying to do carry-on. And so my running shoes I'm going to be wearing on the plane, and I can use those for my workouts, for my walks during the day. I have 1 pair of sandals that I'm going to be wearing at the beach, another nicer pair of sandals that I'm going to be wearing in the evening. And the only thing I would say is an exception is I would recommend to bring water shoes for, especially for Greece. There's a lot of sandy beaches, but there's also a lot of rock beaches. And I've always tried to be brave and not bring rock shoes and just kind of fumble my way in and out of the water. But it does make the experience so much nicer. And I have these really nice clear water shoes that I bought in Greece. I feel like they're of the nicer ones, as nice as water shoes can get, and they're really comfortable as well. As far as towels are concerned, I've been packing these bamboo Turkish towels for the last few years, and we love them. They're super thin and they dry really quickly as well, so they don't take up a lot of space, but yet they're still comfortable. They're still nice to use on your body. I like them better than the cotton ones just because the bamboo is a softer material, and so I highly recommend this. I'll try and find the link of where I bought this. It was pretty sure it was on Etsy, and so I'll try and link it down below for you guys. Tip number 2 is to use packing cubes. I was hesitant to get these in the beginning. When I first started traveling, I didn't think they would be that handy. I just thought it would be like a nice to have, but I feel like I'm at the point where they're a must have. They're so practical and for dividing things into categories. These are the Amazon Basic. They're not like the most, like they're a thinner material, which I don't mind because again, we're trying to save on space. The question is whether you should roll or fold for maximum impact. And the answer is that it depends. It really depends on what you are folding and the material and the cut. And so I find that in general, pants are easier to fold up and lay flat. Like I feel like when you're rolling pants, they're not, it doesn't save you any space. I feel like it takes up more space. Whereas if it's a top or something smaller, thinner, then it's easier to roll up. So kind of experiment and see what works for you and what works for the specific item. And then it's like a Tetris game. You're trying to fill up every gap of the suitcase. And so I would recommend to start by packing the heavier items at the bottom. I would start off by putting shoes in the bottom at the crevices to fill up those gaps and kind of make like a smooth surface. And then on top of that, you can stack pants and bottoms, which are usually heavier. And then on top of that, you can put your packing cubes and any lighter items. And then when I'm talking about putting the heavier items at the bottom and the lighter items at the top, I'm also referring to, so when you have your suitcase open, lying flat, then that applies too. So having the heavier stuff at the bottom, but also when your suitcase is standing up, I would try and put the heavier clothes and heavier items at the bottom, so you don't have the heavier items from the top squishing the lighter items, if that makes sense. Another little tip within the second tip is to really maximize any space that could be used. So for example, I like to pack a beach hat, and it's not really foldable, so I kind of have to lay it flat somehow and yet still maintain the head part, like the shape of it. So I like to stuff that with different items, different softer items, and then that, and kind of make an indentation and put that inside so that lays flat too. So the same thing applies with shoes. I'm not really packing any shoes, I'm packing sandals and I'm wearing my shoes, but in my husband's shoes I can put socks in there, or I can put any other smaller items or any delicate items that I don't want breaking. I can use the inside of the shoe to do that as well. Another reason to pack your suitcase efficiently and kind of have things securely and packed nicely is because you don't want things shifting around as well. So if everything's nice and compact and it's in the right spot, they kind of help each other stay in place, especially when you're checking in luggage. Those luggages kind of get thrown everywhere, upside down, and so it's good to have a good system of packing, and then you're not really worried about, if you're, just in case you're packing something that's a little bit more delicate, you're not worried about it breaking on the way to your destination. And then tip number 3 is things that I've learned over the years that are practical to pack for Greece and things that aren't so practical. And the first one would be is a hairdryer. I don't pack a hairdryer anymore. The reason being is most hotels that we book or Airbnbs, they usually all have a hairdryer, and so that's an item that I don't need to bring. And actually, I had brought a hairdryer one year and I actually ended up frying it just because the voltage is much higher in Europe than it is in Canada. So I ended up destroying my hairdryer. So I've learned since then that there's no really need for me to bring it. Same thing goes for a curling iron and a straightener. I don't really bring those. I used to in the past, but I find Greece is such a more laid back kind of destination, and so I don't really want to be wasting my time doing my hair when it's going to be humid and I'm going to be in the water the next day and it kind of gets destroyed anyway. So I figured after a long beach day, I'll just wash my hair, either air dried or quickly kind of dry it with a blow dryer and call it a day. One thing I might bring this year is the heatless curls. I've been using it the last few months and I love it, and so I can kind of just sleep in that, and I have curls the next day for just maybe doing a travel day, or if we're going to be seeing family or friends. So I might do that because it's light and then it doesn't require any extra time. And then also don't forget to pack a power adapter, because the plugs are different in Greece or in Europe in general, and so you'll probably need an adapter. I just bought a really nice one that has USB ports and an area to plug in the actual plugs, and it collapses down to a smaller little cube, so that's really nice. I'll link that down below. And then another thing that I like to pack that is a little bit, might seem excessive to some, but for me it makes a huge difference for my trip in Greece, is I like to pack a big insulated bottle. It's got a narrower opening at the top, so I'm not sure I can stuff anything into it, but it is more lightweight, so I might pack that into my personal item that I'm bringing on the plane or in my carry-on. I hate drinking warm water on the beach and I don't like wasting water. So in Greece you don't really, from what I know, most people don't drink the tap water. They usually drink bottled water, and so it's really affordable. The big bottles are €1 and the little ones are, I think, at 50 cents if I'm not mistaken. They're just like plastic bottles and they get hot over the day, and I hate drinking hot or warm water. I'll fill my insulated water bottle in the morning with tons of ice, and then I'll put a big bottle of water in there and fill it up, and then we're good to go to have water for the rest of the day. And it's nice and cold and refreshing, and it's enjoyable. And my last bonus tip would be to kind of make an inventory of what you packed and what you had with you at the end of your trip when you come back, and see what did you use, what you didn't use, and make a note maybe on your phone, on your notes, or just make maybe a mental note, but we usually tend to forget. So maybe make a note in your phone, have something to look back on and see what did you use, what did you not use, and that will help you get a better understanding of what you need to pack the next time. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and have an awesome time if you're going to be packing for your trip, if you're going to be leaving soon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I would love for you guys to subscribe as well and join us. So we're leaving tomorrow, so if you'd like for me to vlog the experience and kind of share what we're doing, what we're eating, what we're seeing in Greece, please leave a comment down below and I would love to share that experience with you. So I'd love to see if you guys would enjoy seeing that as well. And we'll see you guys next week.